Today I wanted to check out this Instant Ember compact oven. I've done the heater stove version of this before on the channel, and this thing really interests me and I just wanted to check it out. So yeah, we're gonna look at this today. It will do the canned heat to get up to temperature. Don't know how well. We'll see how hot the oven gets with the canned heat. But you can also put sticks in it, charcoal, paper, cardboard, whatever pretty much, into this portion here. And then, you know, it heats up the chamber. So yeah, we're going to try to cook a steak, maybe some biscuits, and a party pizza in it today. So yeah, let's get this going. All right, so we've got it out of the box here. Has a little accessory kit, has the instructions. This little shelf removes, and you know, you've got your door. You have your airflow control for your heat. You can put the two cans there if you want, or you know, you can feed sticks and stuff in here. Sorry for the lighting. We'll start filming this once the sun actually comes up. I just wanted to get things ready. Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest inside, but you could do like a loaf of bread in there. In the promotional photos, they show you doing like a steak on a bed of vegetables. And honestly, I don't know what a good use for this would be. Presumably just baking things. So that's why we're going to try some biscuits. Maybe in another video, I'll try doing a loaf of bread or something. I just want to play with it first. And I imagine keeping the temperature even is going to be a little bit tricky. And, you know, I don't want to rush into bread because bread's not very forgiving sometimes. So yeah, once the sun comes up, we'll get this going. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the cans inside before the sun comes up. It has you take the fuel cans, about 1 inch a wick it says, and then you put this lid on top of them. And then we're going to slide that in. But first, let's go ahead and get it lit. Be very careful with these. If you use these cans, the flame's not really visible if it's light at all. Like you can kind of see that there, but if there's bright light on it, you can't see them. Okay, so we're gonna get these going here. Well, there we go. Maybe. Interesting. So what's holding it? Okay, there we go. It doesn't seal very well, but that's all right. So now that we've got that in there, it wants us to let it get up to 350 degrees. Let's give it some air. Once it gets up to 350 degrees, what do I do with the tool? Here's the tool. We're going to use this to put out that first can, and then you put this on, supposedly, set that on there, and then remove it so it doesn't overheat. I'm not too entirely faithful that the one can's gonna do the job, but yeah, here we go. For the sake of this, the timestamp is now at 1 minute and 40 seconds. We're gonna let this run. I will speed up the footage, obviously, and I'll let you know how long it took. Okay, so it took about 29 minutes exactly, give or take a few seconds, to get up to 300 degrees. It did just set the smoke alarm off too. You know, it's cooking off factory funk or whatever. It went 29 minutes before it did that. I do have some windows open and stuff though, and these are supposed to be safe to use in a well-ventilated area. This half of the house is pretty much open, so we should be safe. So now I'm supposed to extinguish that first one, and it wanted me to do it like this. Well, there we go. So we're supposed to put that back in there to maintain 300. Since they did a steak in the promotional material, it was on a bed of vegetables. I'm just going to do this steak. It's just on this, you know, Nordic ware pan that I found that'll fit the measurements. It's probably not going to taste the greatest. I did season it last night though. Oh yeah, that doesn't feel very warm. So we'll check this out, see how long it takes. I'm going to give it about 10 minutes and then I'll check the internal temperature. Again, that did not feel like 300 degrees. That felt like ambient temperature in there. So we will see back when that's done. So it's been about 4 minutes and 20 seconds since I put the steak in, and we've already lost 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It's at about 280 now, and it looks like it's still falling. It did say you may have to reignite the first can from time to time to maintain 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm going to watch it here for a little bit and see, but it does look like it's still dropping. This is what I was afraid of with this thing. So you've got these cans, so you can use it inside safely, especially if you just crack a window or if you have a big house or whatever. The cans are only going to do so much heat. That's just, you know, physics. You could put stuff in here like coal, you know, charcoal, wood, paper, cardboard, whatever, and burn it outside. But like today, it's 40 something degrees out right now. So how much of the temperature are we going to lose? This does feel pretty warm on the top. It's uncomfortably warm elsewhere. So you're going to lose some of that heat. With charcoal, you might be able to obtain a fairly consistent temperature, just like in a grill. But if you're feeding wood in there or whatever else, wood pellets maybe would be a little bit better. I think you're just going to run into temperature issues. It's not going to be like a real oven, which means it's probably not going to be very forgiving for things like cakes or breads or, you know, throwing some meat in, no big deal. I'm going to try a party pizza here in a little bit. We'll probably run 2 cans for that because it wants to cook at 425 per the package. And it's easier than guessing at the math and everything, you know, to cook at whatever temperature this wants to rest at. We have lost another 10 degrees since I've been talking, so 10 degrees in 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and reignite the other can. So I'm just showing you that I'm reigniting that other can. And we'll see what that does. Yeah, I will say this little tool's nice because you just pick that up, put it on, take it back off, yada yada. And then you can snuff them out when you're done. So, you know. Yeah, so I put the second can in and turned it on, and we've lost another 10 degrees. We're almost down to 250, actually, even with the next can in, so... Yeah. I mean, the steak was in the fridge. It's not like it was in the freezer, so... It probably didn't have a whole lot of cold thermal mass to go in there. Obviously, it's a small oven, and opening the door like I did is going to drop the temperature some, but wow. So I had the steak in there for 10 minutes. We might as well take a peek. Yeah, it still looks completely raw. It is not warm in there at all. I guess we'll check it in another 15 minutes. I'll monitor the temperature to make sure it doesn't get too hot, but we're losing temperature. So, yeah, not promising. We'll be back in 15 minutes. So the steak's been in there 18 minutes overall. The temperature is climbing back up to 300 now. And I guess I looked at the instructions again. And with 2 cans, it's supposed to get to 350. And then you extinguish one and, you know, play around with the temperature. I got it to 300, and we saw it drop down to almost 250 in 10 minutes. Worth noting. I am going to check the temperature of the steak real quick, because it has been in there quite a bit. I don't know the good way to do this. No, I can't even pierce it. Well, the steak may actually be done to where I want it. I'm going to give it another minute real quick. So the internal temperature's where I want it for about 130 degrees, 135 degrees. I like medium rare. This is going to probably be closer to medium. The temperature was still climbing. So we're going to go ahead and get it out. Just from the, 20, 30 seconds I had the door open, we lost, what is that? 20 degrees? So let me get a pot holder real quick. This back open. Slide it out here so you can see it. Yeah, I mean, looks good so far. So we'll take that out, we'll let it rest, and then we'll see. I'm gonna let this keep going because I'm gonna put a Totino's pizza in there next. I had to cut it to fit in the other pan, but you'll see. Let me get it up to a higher temperature first before we put that in there, and yeah. Yeah, so I'd say I'm pretty happy with that. Other than the fact that it did take 30 minutes to get to temperature and another about 17 minutes to cook the steak to what I would call medium. Not the most practical thing. But I was just trying to recreate one of the images, which was a steak on roast vegetables. It looked better if I had seared it first, but I'm trying to just use the oven. Next we'll do a Totino's and then on to some canned biscuits, and we'll kind of see how those do. This is definitely an oven that's going to need babysat. I had half of the steak and came back and it's now 500 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and go through the procedure to shut off one of them. I will say you should probably burn this thing outside the first few times. It has set the smoke alarm off 3 times now, just from off-gassing stuff. So we're here. So here's the Totino's that I said. I had to cut one strip off just to get it to fit in, and I put that on the sides. This one's $4.25. I will say you really need 2 people to do this too, because this thing never wants to go back in all the way. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I'm following the instructions exactly. So that's a little hot for the pizza. We're gonna have to watch it. I imagine I have to come redo the can again because a party pizza wants 450 for 10 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna lose 20 degrees probably when I open the door based on the last times. So we'll get this in there. And we will keep an eye on it, check it about 5 minutes, and then again in 10 minutes. Yeah, so it's been about 3 minutes, and it's already fallen below 450. I'm going to relight the other can, and then I'm going to use the temperature control. If I can find my lighter. Don't mind the key jangle. I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, let's do this. Grab this thing again. Go ahead and reignite that. Ooh, wow. See, every time I take it out, it does not want to go back in even more than the last time. I'm not sure what that's about, but... So we want 450. Let's try about there. I will say this is getting quite hot itself, so you may want to have something to touch that with. Yeah, see, we're at about 435, falling to 430. I'm just going to have to babysit this nonstop. Okay, it's been 5 minutes since I put the pizza in. We're still at about 420 degrees. It's been about a minute since I reignited the second one. I'm just going to turn this up just a hair. See if we can't get it back to about 450. We'll check the pizza again in another 5 minutes, and I'll come over here in a minute or two and check the temperature again. So the pizza's been in there for 10 minutes, and I've actually got it sticking at about 440, 445. It's still creeping up a little, so I may need to close the damper a little. But this gives me hope now that we can actually achieve the temperatures that we want and keep them there. We'll open this real quick. Yeah, the pizza still needs some time because of the yo-yoing around. We're going to just adjust this a little. About halfway between where I had it before and now. So we'll give this, let's give it 14 minutes total, and then we'll be back. Creeping back up towards 500. I'm going to adjust that a little. So, yeah, I think you just have to babysit it, like I keep saying. Which honestly isn't a problem. If you're in a grid down situation or you're camping or something and you choose to take this for whatever reason, I'm sure there's plenty. It's realistic that you're just going to be sitting there anyway. So, you know, I'm running around the house trying to do a bunch of other stuff too, which makes it a little annoying. But that probably wouldn't be the case in a scenario where you would actually want to use this. So, not too bad. Yeah, we're creeping up to 500 again. The pizza is starting to look done. yeah, I'm gonna give it about 30 more seconds and then we'll get it out of there. So I really liked that stove thing that this company makes, InstaFire makes. I think they make it. I'll link to that video in the description and in the sticky comment. I want to do some more with it too. I want to try using my Kelly kettle on it and then rehydrate some like Mountain House or something, you know, frozen, freeze-dried food. But this just appealed to me because we like making our bread and stuff, and I wanted something where if the world completely collapses, I can still make a fresh loaf of bread every once in a while. Alexa, stop. That's my timer to take the pizza out. So I got this, and you know, like these pans that I've been using today are 10 inches by 6.9 inches, and you could, you know, fit a little more in there, but that's a comfortable amount. And yeah, like there's loaf pans that size. I can bake bread in here, maybe. We're gonna try biscuits after I get this pizza out. I'll have to let it cool down a little, but yeah, so let's get this here. There's not a good way to grab this without getting this in the pizza. Oh well. I mean, yeah, it looks like it does when I take it out of the oven. If anything, the fats are coming out a little more, but we'll get this out onto a plate and I'll let you know how it did. So these biscuits went 400, and I think that's going to be hard to do. I've had the door open for about 2 minutes now, and it's just hanging out at 400 with the 2 cans going and the thing almost shut. So we're just going to put these cheap grocery store brand canned biscuits in here for about 10 minutes and then check on them. Yeah. I will say one thing. This door gets extremely hot. I got some cheese on it from the pizza and tried to clean it off, and yeah, it was a little toasty. So we're already soaring past 400. I'm going to put one of these out. I think it has enough thermal mass built up into it now that it's actually doing pretty good at keeping high temperatures. Every time I take this out, it does not want to go back in. So this is a terrible design right here. Ugh. That's safe. Maybe you'll have better luck than me. I don't know. Yeah, now we're way too hot again. Yeah. So, like I thought, bread's probably going to be a pain in the butt. Oh, they're rising quickly too. Let me almost choke it off, and I'll just have to stand here and babysit it. So I'm not sure what's going on, but these cans normally put out like an inch flame. You saw that? That's ridiculous. I don't know if it's running away or what, but I've had the door open for 1.5 minutes because it was up to 500 degrees. And I mean, it's still quite toasty in there, so it is cooking. But yeah, if you notice, I have the thing completely closed. Obviously, air's getting around it because I can't get it to shut all the way. I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, I'm not sure why that little can of basically Sterno instant heat is making that much of a flame, and now I see why the smoke alarm keeps going off. That's concerning. The front one wasn't doing that, but for some reason the back one is. The wicks were the exact 1 inch height that are requested, so who knows? We've now been open almost 2 minutes, and we're still above 400. Close it back, and it's probably going to rocket right back up. I'm getting less and less impressed. Yeah, I guess we'll be back shortly. Again, the temps for the biscuits are rocketing back up already. Learning curve, I don't know. I will say, I just had a piece of the Totino's pizza because it's cooled down. Oh, it tastes perfect. Like, this is, I would consider this a win in the oven. Half the time they don't come out this good. So, hey, if you want to buy this for party pizzas in the apocalypse and have some way to freeze them, yeah, really good. I'll have to try to make an actual pizza in it sometime. But, yeah, the Totino's pizza has been steaming literally for 10 minutes. You can actually see the heat waves on the stove there, if you look real carefully. But yeah, it's delicious. I just had one of the little pieces, and I'm pretty happy. So it's about time to get these biscuits out, so let's do that. Apologies for the slightly different camera position. My battery was about to die, so I switched it out. We've had these in for about 12 minutes. The package wants 10 to 13 minutes at, what, 400? Yeah. We've been between 400 and 500 the whole time. They're starting to get golden brown. I'm going to pull these ones out, and then I'm going to try another batch, because I still have half the can. But, yeah, they look good so far. They may have actually been in just a hair too long. But yeah, let's let these cool and try them, and I'll get the other batch in. Well, I actually won't be doing another can because apparently the one fuel can ran out. They're supposed to last a little bit longer than that, but I did use these for the stove variant of this. Maybe I used it longer than I thought, so we'll only have the one can. And yeah, it's just not worth it. I'll just pop these rest in the real oven and eat them that way. But yeah, that's been the InstaFire Ember. I think there's a learning curve. I think I did all right, though. It looks like we had some successes, and yeah, that's going to be the review. Buy one if you want. I'll do some more videos on this in the future. I want to try it with charcoal. I want to try it with wood, etc. But we'll see. So yeah, thanks for coming by. There's links in the doobly-doo. So I just wanted to do a quick update. I let this cool down to a safe temperature, and then I went ahead and went and got my hair cut real quick. I came back, and when I came into the house, the carbon monoxide detector was going off. Yeah, I was using the cans, which are supposed to be safe for indoor use. I had a window open. I had 3 windows open when I was doing it, and the upstairs of our house is about 1,400 square feet. The carbon monoxide detector is about 20 feet diagonally from the unit. Sorry about the lighting here. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I came home, carbon monoxide detector was going off. I took the battery out, put it back in, immediately started going off again. So I opened all the windows, they're still open, and I turned the HVAC on just to circulate the fan. I don't know how long it's going to take to get that concentration down that the carbon monoxide detector is happy. I changed the battery. It's still doing it, so it's not a low battery. So whatever that runaway fire thing was, which I don't think it's intended to do, and you can't make one of the cans do that. I don't know if it's a faulty can, don't know if it's a faulty unit, don't know if it's user error, but I followed the instructions to the letter. They're very simple. You put the cans in, you put the lid thing on the cans, you put it in there, bing, bang, boom. And I will say, it smells like the char in here. The can itself is charred. And you saw how charred that lid was when we opened it. At this point, I cannot recommend this thing for indoor use. Outdoor use, yeah, you should be fine. If you're happy with having to babysit it and all that stuff. Yeah, that's concerning. I would not use one of these indoors, even if you're using the canned heat, which it says is safe to do. Just like how long, I wish I'd have been here the whole time to know how long it took the carbon monoxide detector to go off. The fact that it went off and I've never had it go off before except when I do the tests on it, it's a little concerning. I never felt any of the effects of like carbon monoxide poisoning when I was operating it, and I didn't after I came home and walked around in the house for a couple of minutes while I did it. It's not our propane heat because I had the heat off when I left. The thing doesn't go off in the basement; it only goes off upstairs. We have an electric stove. We don't have any other gas appliances or anything. So definitely from the InstaEmber. Again, was it a faulty can? Was it, a faulty unit? I don't know, but I would not use these inside. Yeah, that's that.